In the last two videos, we left our home in the Highlands of Scotland and took the road south to North Shields, where we boarded the Newcastle to Amsterdam ferry. As usual, we got a bit excited and had a few drinkies, so the next morning we felt a bit sorry for ourselves. Well, I did, which pleased Rona no end. But after a good breakfast, all was well, and we disembarked in sunny Holland, where we looked at how easy it really is to drive on the right side of the road. Nowadays we generally push south as fast as possible for the weather, but we often make two stops in Germany. This time we stopped at Camping Gillishoff, which is a great site, a short walk from a supermarket. Then we pushed south again to Camping Illertissen, the only campsite on this trip which we have not been to before. That turned out to be a great choice. Great beer garden with decent food at a sensible price. We continued down into Austria to a lakeside pitch near Innsbruck. It's another favourite of ours, with a great restaurant, a short walk around the lake. Again, good food, right price. After a couple of peaceful nights there, we finally arrived in Italy, where we had a look at how easy toll roads really are, and on to our pitch at Fecina on the Venetian Lagoon. We talked a bit about European campsites and watched the sunrises, sunsets and the lights of Venice flickering across the lagoon. And this video finds us heading to the bottom end of Lake Garda. So this is probably one of the worst tolls that we come to, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's normally queues, and when you go through the other side, it's like free-for-all, isn't it? Cars crossing all over the place, you know. For navigation, we use this standalone Garmin sat-nav. The reason is you can take that home, connect it up to the laptop and use Garmin Basecamp to shape routes. So we found a lot of these places when we were on the motorcycle, didn't we?
Yes.
Created in the 1950s, so they were designed really for tents and small caravans, and probably Volkswagen camper vans, so access to the pitches can be a little bit tight, and we wanted to be able to still access these sites easily, didn't we? So a 6-metre van was always going to be what we bought. So when this campsite was established, some of these houses probably didn't even exist, back in the 50s. And here we go, Camping Bergamini. As I say, probably one of our three favourite sites ever, isn't it? Looking good.
Nice.
An infinity pool now and all sorts of stuff. Right, have you got the paperwork?
Yeah.
We're on that terrace in the campsite so often now the waitress is just shouting Negroni at me now. Super Negroni. Okay, now the thing is in this place, 2 of these and you're going to be finished.
Oh, yes.
3, you can write the afternoon off. Seriously. We really don't know what's attractive about that wee place, is it? There's a lot of locals go, that's nice. A lot of chatter, it's busy. You can watch the world go by. This is the other place we came all these years ago. Could sit right in the canal bank or the river bank before. You can't now, we've moved the seats back a bit. Pizza specialists, going to be great. Here's the thing, quarter litre of red wine, €3.50. So let's break this down, right?
Yeah.
We're in a European holiday hotspot, Lake Garda, and we have just paid €11. That's under £10 for a Neapolitan wood-fired pizza.
Which was beautiful.
So Italian lakes, eh?
Beautiful.
Now you might think that's going to be ridiculously expensive, and it is. But here's the rub. It doesn't feel nearly as expensive as it did a few years ago.
No.
And used to just, whoa, that's expensive. And it's not because things are a bit cheaper here or because the pound is stronger against the euro. It's because things are so ridiculously expensive in the UK.
Yeah.
This feels like a bargain now, For example, in the restaurant just along here, looking over the lake, I had tagliatelle porcini yesterday. So, handmade tagliatelle with mushrooms and aged cheese. It was phenomenal, wasn't it?
Well, I don't know, I didn't have it.
Oh, you didn't have it? €15. That's about £13 something, yeah?
Yeah.
You had tagliatelle bolognese.
It was absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah. €13.
Yep.
What, £12?
And you got the bread.
Oh, and they do the fortress bread. It's a type of bread that during the Austrian Empire in the 1800s, they made this bread, and it's a modern version of it. And they just stick it on the table in front of you with a big knife, free. And you think, I'm never going to eat that. And you always do, you know.
It's gorgeous.
Now I had creme brulee after it, and you had pavlova. Creme brulee was about €6. Your pavlova was about £5, and they let me brown off the creme brulee myself, didn't they, with the burner, you know. Now the campsite, we're on a mid-range pitch, €45 a night, yeah?
Yep.
It was more expensive and it's cheaper. That €45 is £37.81, yeah? Just under 38 quid. I was paying more than that in a campsite in Scotland, in the middle of nowhere, on one of the club sites, where I'm already paying them £56 a year
Yep.
subscription to get cheaper rates, you know. It's absolutely insane, honestly. Feels like a bargain now. And the crackers thing is that you could come to Bella Italia here, yeah,
Yep.
out of season using the Axie discount book for €27 a night.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, we're paying what we pay in Wetherspoons in this setting. So this is all new, isn't it?
Yes.
Pretty sure this was an old municipal building, disused, I think.
Yeah, I think it was.
It's all like high-class shops now. It's pretty beautiful, isn't it? Yeah. I think if you're an older guy with a man bun, that's the very place for you, isn't it? So anyway, we thought we'd talk a little bit about trip planning, eh?
Yeah.
So our first two trips, we planned nothing, did we?
Absolutely nothing.
First one was only 2 weeks. It wasn't even a trip, it was a holiday, wasn't it? Motorcycling tent. Yeah, motorcycling tent. Didn't know if we were going to turn left or right coming off the ferry. Second trip, we had a month, and the only planning I did was look at a map on the one-way ferry to Spain. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we kind of came to the conclusion after these two trips that if you had sort of unlimited time, only 90 days now if you're UK, of course, and money, you know, being able to come over for 9, 10, 12 weeks would be fantastic, wouldn't it?
Oh, it'd be lovely.
And you could just dawdle around Europe, you know. But with limited time and money, and we always have had that,
Yes.
it was better to plan, we thought, you know. And the second thing was that I was really starting to resent having to walk away from enjoying myself somewhere to go and figure out where to go next.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, it just took too much time. I really started to dislike that. So on our third trip, we did plan it. And I think we were using a map back then, but now we use Via Michelin. And I like that because it will give you your fuel price, your fuel costs if you put in the details of your vehicle. Yeah, It'll give you your time and distance, obviously, but it'll also give you your toll cost.
That's right, yeah.
Which all feeds into our budget, you know. Now the kind of principles we applied where we already knew that 4 hours in time was about as much as we wanted to travel.
Yes.
4 hours on the sat-nav. Now I think because you'd been very ill the decade before we got travelling,
Yeah.
you know, near checking out time sort of thing, we never expected to be able to travel. So we're fiercely driven to go and visit things and do things. So that third trip, again 30 days, that's what we could afford, fitted our budget. We expected to stay between 2 and 4 nights in each campsite.
Yeah.
Say average 3, so 10 different campsites in that case, you know. And we wanted to push much further south because we'd done a fair bit of dodging about Germany, hadn't we? So I looked at Salzburg. That sounds good, yeah. Stick it into Via Michelin. I can see it's, say, 10 to 12 hours, roughly. Using our 4-hour rule, that's 2 stops coming down through Germany.
Right, yeah.
Just look for something that's equidistant. In that case, I think it was Cologne and Nuremberg. I think we were mostly using the Axie book then,
Yes,
which is
aye.
very good for touring, isn't it, if nothing else. So we picked 2 sites there out of that. Salzburg, I couldn't find a site suitable in Axie, so we just looked for the best campsites in Salzburg, didn't we? And on that trip, once we got down to Salzburg, we dodged around, you know, Slovenia, Italy, Austria, Switzerland, and then a hardish drive back up through Germany, you know. And we did that for years, didn't we? Rolling bookings. We knew where we wanted to go, but we booked as we went. Rolling bookings, didn't we? And I think it's because it gave us the illusion of freedom. We could change our mind and stay longer somewhere. But the thing is, on these first trips, you may get to a campsite and you think, this is great, I could stay here longer. But you don't know if the next one's going to be even better, do you?
That's right, yeah.
You know, you don't know that, you know. So you may as well just keep doing 3-4 nighters, you know. So anyway, then post-COVID, we knew that because of the post-COVID camping boom, sites were going to be much busier.
Much, much busier.
And I thought, should we just be booking this now all the way around? We know where we're going, yeah? Because of these 3-4 nighters we did all these years ago. We know where we want to go. And I look back at all these previous trips where we had been doing rolling bookings, believing it was giving us this element of freedom, you know. And not once had we changed our plans.
No.
Not once. So now we book the lot all the way through. And I plot the routes as well. So, where the campsite says do not use this road or you should use this road, I can shape the route in Garmin Basecamp and import it onto the sat-nav.
Yeah.
Basically, we'll get up tomorrow. I'll turn on the sat-nav. I'll say Bergamini to Interlaken, hit it, good to go. The other reason for booking a way ahead, now we wanted 2 weeks on this site, so we booked it back in January. That was 7 months ago. All the south sites we booked between 7 and 6 months ago. Now, we've got our preferred pitch here, but in January, the other pitches were already gone. The lake views and all that were already sold out, And we got our 2 weeks on one pitch. What we're noticing is, and I should say this, that while in the UK we used to have, especially the club sites, 2 different pitch types, basically hard standing or grass. On European sites, you can have a wide choice of pitches.
Yes.
And it can be based on view, and different prices as well. It can be based on view, lake view, mountain view, pitch size, 60 metre squares, 75 metre squares, 100, and so on, Now, this campsite has 6 different pitch prices, And what we've noticed is people who want to be here for a week and have booked a lot later, they're having to book on to 3 different pitch types to be here a week.
Yeah.
So they're moving every 2 or 3 days, And that's another reason for booking ahead on these busy places.
Yeah.
You could probably still get in here for a couple of nights. There's not been a free pitch any night in the time we've been here. But, if you want to stay a bit longer, you probably wouldn't be able to. And this is September.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pre-COVID, in a September, we could come here no problem.
Yes.
And there'd be free pitches. Same as Spain, like we said about Spain. If you're anything sort of north along the coast from Valencia, the campsites could be, 20% empty.
Yeah.
Now, we're turning people away. So that's it, the Sherry del Garda.
All done and dusted.
Undoubtedly one of our top 4 places anywhere. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Been here many times.
Yeah.
And the other places we like, it's for different reasons, isn't it? But we like this because it's Italian. So it's automatically kind of crazy, isn't it? It's exuberant and it's busy,
Yeah.
I always say if you want to try and speak a bit of Italian, and I do, you have to say it like you mean it.
Yeah.
Because if you try and speak Italian with the nuances that we use in the UK, they're going to ask you if you're okay, aren't they?
Yeah.
No, should we phone the Samaritans? It's honestly, say it like you mean it or they won't even understand you, So, off to Interlaken tomorrow.
Yeah.
Sad to leave here?
Yes.
Always.
Always. Always.
The turn north is always a little bit sad, isn't it?
Aye. Aye. But
You know you're going home.
you're going home. Looking forward to going home.
Yeah. Seeing people again.
Yeah. And Interlaken's nice.
Yeah.
I like that.
Interlaken, Frankfurt, Delft.
Yeah.
Before we even get to the ferry.
Yeah.
It's all part of it, isn't it? Hopefully I've said in this video before, the month sort of works for us.
Yes.
Both financially and time-wise. But it's also enough time to make you appreciate going back home, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. You want to start being home after a bit of that.
Yeah.
All right, so we shall say hi to Cleo and Charlie and Joy. We have no idea when these videos are starting and ending, are we? No idea.
Absolutely not.
Should probably say that every day, just to be sure. So anyway, take care.
Bye.
Catch you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.